Part 23 of 25, Burying Himself. Fall 1962, East Texas. Mrs. Jameson asked me to give counsel to her son, and of course I was happy to. I'd been giving her private counsel on occasion since she and her husband parted ways, and I was pleased to extend my services to her son. I've always considered giving counsel the most important part of what the clergy does. A person gets lost in life and strays off course. It is the trusted advisor, a member of the church, a family elder, a trusted friend who can counsel what is important and what is not. Joseph Jameson was struggling in marriage, as many young folks do. A young man thinks he's marrying a replacement for his mother, or he thinks he's marrying his young sweetheart. However, a wife does not fulfill the mother's purpose, and a wife is not a young sweetheart. A wife makes far more demands than a young sweetheart can. A man needs to understand the woman he has married, what she is and is not. Before Mrs. Jameson came to me, the young wife had left him, seeking refuge with her parents, as his mother told me. Once his young wife's father came to me asking for a scripture he could read with his daughter, which would show her the importance of the commitment she made to God when she took her husband. I offered to talk directly to his daughter, but he said a scripture would suffice. A preacher has to be careful not to breach the relationships within a family. A parent wants to counsel their children, and a preacher cannot stick his nose in where it is not wanted. I gave him a couple of scriptures, and he thanked me warmly. It said a lot to me that Mrs. Jameson's relationship with her son, that she asked me to talk to him. She felt no one could reach him, so she turned to what must have seemed her last hope, God and me. When Mrs. Jameson came to me, I asked her, perhaps I should speak to the young couple together. I could try to get some idea of what their problems are. My son needs to be talked to. The young girl is fine. She comes from a good, stable family. Her parents have a close, loving relationship. Her relationship with others, her parent and friends all seem normal. She's been bothered enough. My son, he has no friends. You know our family history. He was cut off from a normal life early, and I fear he has become lost in himself. He is alone. He has people who care for him, but I don't think he feels that. His wife says he talks to no one. We all have much to share, much to confess, but he shares with no one and confesses nothing. Perhaps if you can just listen to him. He has a lot to say and probably no one to say any of it to. He is burying himself. He has dug his own grave, and he is stepping into it. He needs to just be heard. I hope. I fear. I hear a light tapping. I sat in my chair trying to locate the source of the tapping. It persisted for a few minutes. I walked around to the front room trying to find the noise source. I left the front room and entered the hallway that led to the front door. I could then tell what the tapping was. Someone was lightly knocking on my front door. I opened the door to find Joseph Jameson standing anxiously, waiting for the door to be answered. Hello, Brother Jameson. Please come in. The doorbell works. I do not usually get any knocking on the door. I did not recognize what it was. I've been expecting you. Thank you, Reverend. I didn't ring because I was half hoping you wouldn't hear the knocking, and I could have leave quietly and tell everyone I'd been here. That would not exactly be honest, would it? It would be close enough. You do not have to talk to me, Brother Jameson. Your mother is concerned. She feels you need someone to confide in, someone who would never repeat a word of what you say. You understand, as a clergy member, I can never repeat a word of what you say. I am just here to listen. A man can get lost in his thoughts, with his thoughts going round and around in his head. But if he can talk to someone, get a lot of what is troubling him out, he can find his way clear of confusion. I don't know what you know of my situation, Reverend. There is much to tell, but I am unable to share any of it. Could you tell me what you know of my life? I know as much as your mother knows, Brother Jameson, and she does not think she knows very much. Please call me Joseph, Reverend. Joseph, I know your family's history. Probably the only thing I know nothing about is your marriage. It was a beautiful wedding, and that is all I know. A wife can make a crazy man sane or a sane man crazy, but it is much the man's decision as it is his wife's. You have to talk to her. Are you able to talk to her about your troubles? I don't want to burden her with my past. She's so young. She has no past. Her family seems perfect, and that is all she knows. You know my family was far from perfect. You seem to be my mother's last hope for me. She worries, and her worries are suffocating. My wife's anxiety, which I cause, is suffocating. Do you understand what I am saying? Yes, you feel you're being suffocated. Your memories of your father, your brother, and other memories I am not aware of must be addressed. You must come to terms with the past to experience peace in the present and the future. You must let things go. You cannot bring your father back or your brother. You cannot change the past 20 to 25 years. How old are you, Joseph? 21, Reverend. That is such a young age. Your life is only one fourth past. Think of children you will have. Think of Sunday afternoons with your wife and kids. There is much good in life awaiting you. Young people get frustrated when time drags by, but you must be patient. You have to believe there are good things in your future and make them happen. Happiness requires action. Passivity leads to boredom, exhaustion, and suffocation. You will see many small victories, the birth of your first child, the steps of your first child, your child's baptism. That child will grow and you will teach him, and there will be other children for you and your wife. Are children the answer, Reverend? I'm sorry, Joseph. You have no children, Reverend. I know of others who have children find no comfort in having children. A child is not a part of marriage. Children give parents something extra, a common goal, the goal of promoting the best interests of a child or children. Much of what you and your wife focus on now will be supplanted by your children's needs. I have no children, but I have seen parents' pride at a baptism. I have attended graduations and enlistments into the armed services. I have seen the happiness when a child finds a mate and produces children of his own. I have always enjoyed listening to you speak, Reverend. I know you're honest and try your best. But I can't see any relief. Relief from what, Joseph? Perhaps I can provide you with a different perspective. Sometimes we create problems that do not need to be problems if we can put them in a different light. You are just a man with a man's fears, a man's haunts, a man's delusions. Well, you do not seem to have a man's hopes, a man's dreams, a man's illusions, things that make life bearable for us all. I do not know you or your life, but you are just a man. I can understand if you will talk to me. Let me get to know you, if you will unload your burden to me. But that is your decision. I can't unload, Reverend. I can't burden you with my burden. Not even a man of God can shoulder the burdens I bear. Bah! Can I have a drink of water, please? Of course, perhaps you would like something a little stronger. I have something that can take a bit of the edge off. He hesitated, and at once I realized I had made a mistake. His father got lost in the bottle, and offering him a drink was not the thing to do. He slowly nodded his head. I can get that drink of water for you, Joseph. Liquor isn't for everyone. It was good to see your hesitance in accepting my offer. Maybe if I lose a bit of the edge, I can talk a bit more, Reverend. Maybe that is the problem. All edges, no dull surface. I know your father's history. Water is perhaps preferable. You can bring it, Reverend, and I'll decide once it's in my hands. I bought 2 glasses for him. One tall glass of water, which I handed him, and a small glass half filled with whiskey, which I placed on the table beside him. While he sipped from the glass of water, he did not take his eyes off the glass sitting on the table. What is going on in your mind, Joseph? It is just a glass of whiskey. There are no hidden secrets, no guide to a path forward to be found there. It is just a momentary diversion. You could have bought yourself a drink, Reverend. It's just a momentary diversion. Perhaps we could both use a diversion. We shared a drink and then another. He relaxed, but his problems remained his burden alone. He spoke of his mother, father, and brother. I have been blessed with a mother who obsesses over my happiness. She always has. It has done me no good. My father and brother were no family to me. Did you know my father? You knew Jack, my brother. I think of them all the time, and there are no good memories. All that remains is fear I felt for them and the disdain they felt for me. I can't leave them behind, and there's more than I can think of or speak of. You don't know how my brother died. You didn't see my father at my brother's funeral. I can't make you understand just by telling you. You can't understand. Please, Joseph, we need to talk again soon. Next time without the liquor. We did speak again, but never without liquor, and he never went beyond what he told me the first time. He said he had nothing but love and respect for his wife, but he did not think he could ever be a husband to her. The following year, a daughter, Annabelle, was born. A month after her birth, she was baptized in the Methodist Church. Joseph seemed relaxed, happy, maybe. I hoped he had found peace. I had hoped, prayed for him. Parents and parents and child attended services regularly from child's birth for a short while. One Sunday, I noticed that wife and daughter showed up for service without Joseph. We exchanged greetings, but when I said to Joseph's wife, I hope all is well for you, she frowned. I had to fight the urge to ask her about her husband. I told her I was available if she needed someone to talk to. Her parents left before she left. I did not notice if she sat with them or if they spoke. She had a close relationship with them, and I could only hope she could seek it with them if she needed counsel. The mother, Anna, and the daughter, Annabelle, continued to attend services, sometimes arriving with her parents, sometimes just the two. The daughter was walking, but most of the time either the mother or the grandfather would carry her to keep her from running off. She was an active young child. A few years later, Joseph's mother fell ill. She passed away. He had become unraveled. He showed up for her service, staggering. His wife tried to conceal her embarrassment. The entire congregation was embarrassed for him. We could understand his sense of loss, but this was horrifying. He kept his composure and minded his words, but he was a mess. At the graveside, I went to him to try and steady him. To have seen him like that brought tears to my eyes. I'm sorry for your loss. Please come to me for counsel soon, Joseph. He did seek additional counsel, and each time we shared a bottle. I could have heavy-handedly told him he needed to stop drinking, but I felt the friendly, supportive approach was best. I made his drinks small and mostly water. I continually mentioned a drink acceptable if taken in moderation. I knew from experience that telling a man he should not drink is not at all helpful. I tried to show him that I drank, but not very much. Medicine is fine if taken in proper dose, but too much can kill a person. And he relaxed while drinking, smiled occasionally, and became more talkative. Still, he would never talk about what bothered him. Talking can change a man's perspective, particularly if he is someone to talk to, sees things differently. That's all I hoped to offer him, a different perspective. But he seemed to be a man who was lost in himself. It wasn't difficult to see. He was a man being consumed. Finally, he stopped seeking my counsel. His wife left him, and word came to me. His daughter stopped attending church services. His wife's parents still attended every Sunday, and I greeted them awkwardly every week. We never spoke of their daughter. They deserved their privacy. I asked about him regularly in town. He had business in town, and some people constantly interacted with him. Several years later, I sought out his daughter and asked how her father was doing. She was a young girl, mid-teens maybe. I shouldn't have made the inquiry, but everything I was hearing about Joseph concerned me. He had become more the recluse, more the constant drinker. She did not answer. She turned and walked away without a word. I crossed paths in town with Joseph a few months ago, and he had the look of a drunk man. He staggered to his car, got inside, and sat there motionless. I watched him, waiting for him to start his car and drive off, hoping he would find his way home safely, and regretting what I had done in giving him that first drink, or what later drowned him. And the worst thing was, I never found out what was going on in his head. I did absolutely nothing to help him. That's it.